People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Zoom episode of Small Talk. The beauty of Zoom is I can interview anybody from anywhere. We can be intercity, we could be international, or as today's guest is interprovincial. I would like to introduce Robert Cousins. Hello, Robert. And there you are.
Hello, Nancy. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm pleased that you agreed to be on the show. So now let's start about who you are. Hold on here. You can hear me because there's a little red. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I have got a little red dot going on here, but I think it's okay. All right. So you were born and raised in Calgary, correct?
Yes, I was. Yeah, born and hatched and raised in Calgary is what I say to everyone.
Okay. So do you have brothers and sisters? Were you an only child? What?
No, I have two half-brothers by the same mom, but different dads, and then I have a sister who's a couple of years younger, and we both have the same parents.
Right. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, you said in your bio that at a very early age you got interested in radio and television production. So, how did that come about?
At the community television station in Calgary back in the 1980s, it was called Calgary Cable TV FM, and they had an open house. I was about 15, 16 years old, and I remember my dad had always known that I had an interest in TV and radio production, and he asked me if I'd like to go to the open house with him. He brought me up to the open house, and from that point onwards, I got involved as a volunteer. I was about 16 years old.
Wow,
and,
very good.
I was a volunteer ever since, up until 3 years ago.
Okay, so what did you do? Okay, so you volunteered, but what did you do for a living? What was your career once you started working?
Well, back in the 1980s, I worked in all sorts of unique jobs. One of the first jobs I had, I was hired as the full-time Santa Claus at Marlborough Mall in Calgary.
Oh,
that
fabulous.
Was December of 1983, just after my 18th birthday, and that was one of my first jobs after I left high school.
Fabulous.
But most of the jobs I've worked in have been maintenance jobs, custodial and cleaning, and also security, working in security.
Right.
I worked as a mobile patrol driver for a security firm back in the late 80s and early 90s.
Oh, that's interesting because my daughter does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you volunteered at, you said Channel 10, which would be a community station, right?
Right. Yeah. It later became Shaw TV back in the early 90s there when Shaw took over.
So what did you do as a volunteer? What did you do there?
At first, I volunteered as a studio camera operator and I floor directed.
Right.
And back in the 1990s, they let me do some on-air voice work, which I really loved. It gave me a lot of confidence in myself being able to do that.
For sure. Okay. Right. Now, where did it went? I wanted to talk about you began a course at the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. And what were you taking in that course?
I started the course in September of 2000, and it was the building operator course dealing with the heating systems in buildings, studying the boilers. I was actually pursuing my building operator B ticket, and but yeah, that would have allowed me to work with boilers and heating systems. And
okay, but something happened to your health, right?
Yes, yes. But when I was just after I started the course, I started developing a chronic cough, and the cough got to the point where I couldn't hold a normal conversation with anybody. And
we're going to have to pause for just a second, okay? Hold on.
Yeah.
Robert, I apologize for that, but
it's okay, Nancy.
this is part of doing Zoom in your own home. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So somebody was important. Somebody was at my door, and it was important, so I had to answer it. So
no, it's okay. Is Zoom a free program, Nancy?
Yes, absolutely. So now we were talking about your health, right? Something happened to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're okay. Was it still being recorded?
We're back to recording, yes. I have to
Okay.
apologize to you and to the audience for the interruption.
No, sorry. Sorry. It's okay, Nancy. No. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, Zoo. It's an amazing program though. My first time using Zoo.
Yeah, and I am the administrator, which means I'm the one who invites you onto the, if you were if you were the administrator, you can do what I do, but at this point you can't.
Oh,
So
it's
this
amazing
is,
the technology.
yeah,
No, the tech.
and I don't edit, so this is going to be going out as is, just so you
Yeah,
know.
no, that's fine. No, yeah, no, I'm honored to I'm honored to be one of your guests, Nancy.
Okay, but I'm anxious to talk to you about what happened with your health when you during the time that you were in the Institute of Technology.
Sure.
Let's get back to that, okay?
You betcha.
Because that's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I had just started the course, and the cough that I developed became worse to the point where I couldn't have a conversation with anybody. And I went to see my doctor at the time, and he took some chest X-rays, and he couldn't find any problems, and he didn't know what to make of it. He thought maybe it was my sinuses that were causing the problem.
Hmm.
And he gave me a nasal, it was a device there where I had to breathe in the medication there, but I found that didn't help me.
Right.
But the cough kept getting worse, and got to the point where I ended up having to leave my job. And I ended up moving up to Didsbury, a small town north of Calgary, about a 45-minute drive. And
Okay.
my mom let me move in with her. And when I moved in with my mom, I still continued commuting to Calgary to go to SAIT. And I kept going to SAIT until my health took a turn for the worst in December of 2000. And I went to have a shower one night actually, and I came out of the shower and my right leg was double the size, and I was
Wow.
running a fever, and my brother brought me to the hospital in Didsbury, and they admitted me right away and put me on blood thinners to try to get the size of my leg down.
Right.
And it was in December of 2000, about 2 weeks before Christmas, and they ran all sorts of tests and sent me down to Calgary to the Peter Lougheed Hospital for a CAT scan. And after undergoing a number of blood tests and having the CAT scan done, when they brought me back up to the hospital in Didsbury, my doctor came into the room and pulled the curtain closed around my bed. And I remember my brother and my mom walking into the room, and my doctor said to me, he said, Robert, he said, we've got the results back from your testing, and he said, you've got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I looked at him and I laughed, and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know it was cancer.
Right.
But I laughed at him, and he looked at me and he said, this isn't a laughing matter, Robert. He said, you've got cancer. He said, you've got 3 months to live.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I mean, I was in a state of disbelief. I didn't know how to think or how to feel.
Right.
And my brother and my mom, I remember them looking at me, and they were speechless. They didn't know what to say, and eventually they just walked out of the room. But my brother stayed behind, and I asked my doctor. I said, what's the prognosis? And he said, if we get you on chemotherapy, then you've got a fighting chance. But he said, you're stage 4, and he said,
Wow.
he said it's a 50-50 chance when we get you on chemotherapy.
Right. And obviously it worked, because here you are.
Yeah. I started chemotherapy in January of 2001. One of the drugs I was taking as part of my chemotherapy treatments was prednisone, and prednisone caused me to gain a lot of weight.
Okay.
My appetite actually went out of control when they started me on the prednisone, where I had a craving for foods I didn't normally eat a lot of, and especially cheese. I had a craving for cheese,
Right.
but I actually ballooned from about 190 pounds up to within a few months, within a few weeks. Actually, I ballooned all the way up to about 430 pounds.
Oh my. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, just because of the prednisone, and I was eating a lot of foods that I didn't normally eat.
Right. So how long were you in treatment?
I went through chemotherapy. I started in January of 2001 and finished my last chemotherapy treatment in May of that year.
Okay.
So I had about 6 treatments altogether over a 4 or 5 month period.
Right.
And but yeah, they thought halfway through my chemotherapy treatments, Nancy, they thought I was going to need a bone marrow transplant. So they sent me to another specialist, another cancer specialist, to talk about that possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, halfway through my chemotherapy treatments, I started responding really well, and they didn't see the need for me to have that done.
Yay. I'm glad. It's nice to hear that, that somebody survived, right? And came through it okay, right? And obviously you eventually lost a lot of the weight that you'd put on.
Yeah, it took me a few years to do that. I didn't take the weight down. I didn't start taking my weight off until about it was about 2012, late
Right?
2011,
Okay.
early 2012.
So, okay. So that's all really good. So now where are you in your life now? Like what's happening? What's going on for you?
Well, when I was diagnosed with the cancer back in 2000, my mom bought me a computer so I could research information on the cancer. And when she bought me a computer, I didn't even know how to turn the thing on. I didn't know what the power button was. And I remember my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, giving me my first few lessons on how to turn on the computer. But from that point on, my interest in computers just spiraled, and I wanted to know how to fix computers. I wanted to learn how to do that, and I found it just came naturally. And back in 2006, I became a volunteer at the Calgary Drop-In Homeless Shelter. They had a program down there where they offer free courses. They offer free computer training courses.
Yeah.
And they also had a program where people can volunteer fixing computers, refurbishing computers to give out to low-income Calgarians and families in need.
Right.
But I took about 2 months of the computer training classes before I became a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And the training was all provided to me free on how to fix computers, which I'm really, really thankful for.
Nice.
And the wonderful people down at the homeless shelter there.
Right. Nice. Now tell me about your doggie and how you came about having that doggie, because I think that's an interesting story.
Yeah, no, my best friend Kim, I met Kim back in 2005, and she was my best and dearest friend. And Kim had a lot of health issues. She dealt with a lot of health issues for a good part of her life there, and she wasn't in the best of health. But she got Maggie just after Maggie was born in December of 2000 or November of 2009. That Maggie was born.
Yeah. What kind of dog
And
is Maggie, first of all?
Maggie's a Yorkie Papillon.
Oh, okay.
And when Kim got Maggie, I said to Kim, I said, I'd love to be able to help you to raise Maggie. And Kim and I, we shared Maggie together, and we both went half and half on the pet insurance. But Kim and I, we both lived in the same apartment complex. So because Kim's health wasn't too good, I took Maggie for most of her walks. But Kim and I, we both considered Maggie to be our little daughter. Maggie's actually laying on the floor just down below me here.
That's cute. Yeah, I've met Maggie. She is a cute little doggie.
No, Maggie's being a Maggie's being a big comfort, and she's given me a lot of strength too, though.
What I love about it is when you were out here visiting, we went out for lunch and you have her in this little package. Can't even tell there's a doggie in there, and she's so quiet. She sat through the whole thing without a word. That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, no, Maggie likes the pet travel carrier bag. It looks like a big gym bag. A lot of people think it's a gym bag, but
Yeah.
she can breathe in there fine. She's got the air vents on the side and the flaps that lift up.
So basically, you can sneak her in anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that it comes in handy. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that I have Maggie in the bag.
Right. That's such a cute thing. So now eventually she became yours completely, right?
Yes, Kim passed away in January of 2017.
Right.
But she had always said to me that if anything happened to her, that she wanted me to have Maggie.
Nice. Yeah. And it's nice that you shared that responsibility while Kim was alive, so that Maggie knew you, right? And so there was no big transition for her. I mean, I'm sure she must have missed Kim at first, but at the same time, she was used to being with you, correct?
Yes. Yeah, no, Kim had been in the hospital a lot throughout the last few years, where I had to look after Maggie for long stretches of the time.
Okay.
And Maggie adapted to me really good that way.
Right. Very good. Well, we're out of time. So just stay there right where you are while I address the audience, and then I'll get back to you, okay? So everybody, thank you so much for watching this show. I hope you enjoyed meeting my friend, Robert Cousins, and I hope you tune in next time, because you never know who you're going to meet. Might be a friend, might be another relative, or maybe it's you. Stay tuned and find out. Until then, peace out, everyone.
For you, I wanna know you. You've got a story to tell. So come on in, sit down and relax. I hope you're doing well. Let's share some thoughts on